in the morning. We woke up at 5 to get our workout in. And luckily our baby decided to wake up at 5 and have a lot of gestational distress. So here we are, waking up and getting going. But we gotta get the kids off to school pretty quick. So today's a nice, easy recovery jog just to remind ourselves we can still wake up, go out and get it, catch the sunrise. So it's not gonna be high mileage, and it's gonna be what it is. All right. Let's see what we can do. Whew. Chilly today, man. It's like 36 degrees out. I got a lot on my mind right now. We'll see how this run goes. Basically, I had some really interesting conversations yesterday with a lot of different people on school. On the cusp of closing my first client, which is pretty cool. And I'm very curious if this one will work out well. It's I won't provide much context other than it's a duo that actually has the potential of making an absurd amount of money on a live stream. Which is very rare. There's not a lot of potential in live streaming financially. So we'll see. Yo! What's up, Jay Perry? How's it going, bud? That's what your name is, right? We got a 2-mile recovery jog walk thing. We woke up at 5 to work out, and now it's about 6:30. And we don't have a pretty large window because we gotta get the kids off to school. So we'll see. Any last words? It's been a ride. I don't know. I'm trying to think about what my last word would be. It's a fantastic name, friend. But hey, welcome to Chicago. I'm a bigger guy. I'm like 6'3". Used to be about 300 pounds. Dropped about 40 to 60, depending on what I've measured last. But I've found the ability to do longer distance running, even though I hate many aspects of it. So that's what we're doing this morning. Rolling ourselves out of bed, hanging out with all of you, and getting it. Because nobody's gonna work out for me. But how are all of you? Where are you all viewing from? I also spent a considerable amount of my life living in Japan. So if you have any questions about Japan, engineering, fatherhood, surgical robotics, or content creation, let me know. I got it all covered. How are you? Well, Jay Perry, I'm doing pretty well. Big Chungus. Yes. I don't know why, but I hear Big Chungus, and I don't know the full context of that word from an etymology perspective. like where the word comes from. I always just picture like an overweight hamster. That is like the immediate thing I visualize with Big Chungus. But I'm doing well. I've been building a community on a platform called School, SKOOL, where I help engineers, global leaders, and entrepreneurs find their way. And I've been gaining more and more traction with it, which is pretty cool. So having conversations that are progressing towards me actually like closing clients and getting passive revenue. It's fun because it takes so much work to make anything that's ever passive. So we'll see. Anything big is a Big Chungus. Oh, wonderful. Well, yes. So I guess an overweight hamster does apply. But any last words? How are you, friend? Anything new in your world? Anything exciting, thrilling, adventurous? Other than hanging out with me here, which I'm sure is plenty fun. So we're gonna run about 2 miles, maybe slightly less today. Nah, nothing. That's okay. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to, wake up the dialogue a little bit. What do you want to be when you grow up? I still want to be an astronaut. Actually, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a taxi driver. And my mom grew up in some rougher areas. So she was always worried about me getting shot. So I became an engineer. Just gotta keep mom happy. What time is it over there? Well, we're in Chicago. So it's about 6:40-ish or so. Not too late, not too early. Kind of in the messy middle. So we're just catching a quick sunrise. It's hard to beat daylight savings time. I'm gonna walk for a minute and breathe. Luckily today is recovery. So Mondays we do our long runs. Those are like 5 to 8 miles. They suck. Sometimes I go higher if I'm training up for a half marathon. Over here, 7:33. Ah, you're an East Coaster. Nice. It's a fun time zone to be in. And then Wednesdays we do our light recovery jog, walk, reflection, hangout time like this. Fridays we do high interval training, which sucks. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday we lift. Sunday we foam roll and do Beat Saber. And we've been running that for 572 days. And it's been amazing. This guy sexually assaulted my dad in a Walmart. Pretty sure it's him anyway. You can't run forever, bro. Nah, I don't think it's me, but never done that. Hope your dad's okay, though. That's pretty rough. I'm in Rhode Island. Nice. Jay Perry, have you been here before? Your name is familiar. Rhode Island's familiar. But sometimes, I do these so often, I get people confused with places and backgrounds. And then folks that have been in the community longer, I really know, which is cool. We're almost done with the walk part, and then I'll turn the jog back on. No. First timer, eh? That's fun. Well, welcome, bud. Welcome to the frenzy of my world. So I learned how to raise 4 kids in Chicago. It's wild. And then concerning my content, if you ever explore that or subscribe or whatever the little magic button is, I do a lot of engineering and career coaching, at least in this present season of life. Most of my viral stuff has been toxic, about this guy named the Pretentious engineer who provides uninvited engineering perspective on the world's most challenging problems. It's basically like, you subscribed? What? It's nonsense. If you made a terrible mistake. You didn't give me enough time to convince you away from that decision. Nah, I'm just playing. But my content's kind of all over the map because I'm still figuring out who I want to be when I grow up. But right now, a lot of it's a funnel towards a free community on a platform on school where I help people create something called like the Your Next changelog, where I think everybody kind of has their next best opportunity in front of them. They don't know what it is, and they don't know how they need to develop to get it. So I'm trying to connect engineers, global leaders, entrepreneurs, and wannabes in any of those spaces so that together they can kind of mark out a path. And then anytime you have updates on things you're learning, things you're doing, questions you have, you just kind of connect it to that initial post where you share like your origin state, your desired future state, why you want this outcome that you desire, and what you're afraid of, and then the whole community wraps around you and pushes you forward. So I've got it up to like 68 people so far, and it's like global, which is cool. So I got folks in there from Pakistan, Turkey, where else? UK, all over the US, Canada. So that's kind of fun. So if you go to any of my like more recent I'm coming back. We're at the halfway point. Any of my more recent long form content, there'll normally be like a link to school, and it's free and fun. And that's where I engage with folks. Because on YouTube, have you ever been to Rhode Island? I have not. Wait, have I? No, I've been to Nag's Head, but I don't think that's in Rhode Island, is it? It's like a little island with a path to it. Maybe that's in the Carolinas. When I was a kid, I went out to the East Coast, but I can't really remember. But, what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. But anyway, that's a fun place. So as you watch more of my content, because you subscribed, or catch more lives, I talk about that a lot because I'm just trying to help people. And then eventually I'll have 2 paid communities where I can give like more focused one-on-one engagement. But on these lives, you can, fire off a question, I can give an answer, stuff like that. But in the other communities, I can actually like set up Zoom calls and chat or do like asynchronous coaching. Bye, friend. Appreciate you. All right, let's keep going. Back to the jog. Making good time, good progress, getting out on our body, working a little bit. Whew. That's the goal today, is just to get moving, to try. Trying to reset ourselves as a morning person and a present father. The hardest one to figure out is going to be Mondays, because Mondays are supposed to be our long runs. But it's just been challenging to get up and get moving. Yo, is that Barnabas? What? Barnabas, how's it going, friend? It's like 6:40 in the morning in Chicago. I'm on a jog. Good to see you. I still gotta catch that live you shared. I need to run too. Go for it, dude. I got a half marathon planned. 11:30 p.m. You gotta go to bed. Is it really that late in the UK? It seems too late. Because I guess Germany lags a little bit more. No, you should be in the same time zone. No, it's not 11:30 a.m. It is like 7, not even 6:40. You gotta focus and do your video. That's fine. That's exciting. What's your next one gonna be about? By the way, I love what you're pulling together in your community, dude. I still owe you feedback. I keep dipping my toes in. But your engagement is really authentic, and it's really exciting just to see everything you're pulling together. Like anything, I think it's just a matter of like subtle tweaks over time, and you'll get there. AI video upscaler tool. Ooh, fun. AI channel, not this channel, but I'm posting with. Okay. That's awesome. So AI upscaling, so that's taking you from like a video that's 1080p into 4K, basically. It's kind of like the math on that's got to be fun. I know you don't touch the math. It's all AI people. Because it's just like interpolation. But you have to train the algorithm. But for all you non-nerds out there who don't understand how pixels work in images, computer screens, like when you watch a video in 1080p, every 60 frames a second, 30 frames a second, depending on what you write it as, like folks are just seeing like an array of colored pixels, and then the pixel array changes based on the image that's next in the sequence. And eventually, if you flicker through them fast enough, your brain can see a moving picture. It's wild. But if you wanted to increase the density of those pixels, you can't, because you only recorded the pixels you have. So if you zoom in and zoom in, that's why things get pixelated and messy. But with AI, it can start to interpret like images and meaning and fill in missing pixels so that there's a gradient. It kind of smooths it. So that's fun. That's your AI image learning for the day. Yes, to improve the resolution and so many other things. Oh man, when there's so much I need to learn from you. You're like coalescing the right tools and people. It's so funny, like as someone who's progressed AI myself in surgical robotics, with content and creation, I'm still kind of a Luddite. Luddite just means someone who's like apprehensive of technology. And what I mean by that is, like, I think there's a lot of power in finding your signature voice and crafting that and refining that over time and being able to tell a compelling story. And there's lots of tools with GPT and things like that, and all the other tools that can automate pieces of the process. And for me, I want to find the sweet spot of like my creative, where it's like distinctly me, and where I pull in AI influences on workflow. So for me, I only use it for like automating descriptions and SEO and things like that. But for me, I want the idea to like purely come from my head. So I don't even use like GPT, like give me 25 ideas in my niche. Well, no, it's like I want to grind through it and figure it out, wrestle with my brain. But I love the stuff you've done. The Joseph video was really cool. What you're sending now on this live is a lot of colored pixels. Yes! All the pixels, Barnabas. And sound waves. Oh, and that's fun too, because you're going from an analog input to digital output, because it's hard to send analog. Hello, true authentic brand is the value. Yes. Like that signature voice, being able to capture the essence of who you are. It's hard because there's a lot of tools that can really like automate somebody's ability to navigate the learning curve and get their quality to a threshold where people would be willing to watch. Because I think that's the hardest thing with TikTok and YouTube. It took me so long to figure out, is there is a standard of quality that you need to climb over or optimize for across thumbnail, title, hook, but also the meat of the content. I think short form has the lowest barrier to entry because you can literally pop on something like this and chat. And I think learning how to do lives is actually critical because it teaches you improv. That's like been my secret sauce, has been optimizing my skill set first across lives, like learning how to read a room, how to bring people into the story that's in motion, and then learning how to get out short, punchy videos and getting that feedback loop. Like I did 1,900 short form pieces of content over the course of 5 years. And I probably live streamed for at least 10,000 hours probably. It's something outrageous. I started on Twitch first, and it's just like grinding those two things taught me how to instantly connect and speak succinctly. And now my next game is like the podcasting space as well as long form content, but the edits are a little bit more challenging in those spaces. Putting time and thought into title and thumbnails, like just another piece of workflow that I'm trying to figure out. So that's my journey. Yes, I love lives. That's what I do mainly on this channel. Oh, lovely. So what are your secrets for engagement on lives? Do you do anything AI with it? Oh, 1 second. I like the idea of live streaming on a jog or a walk. That's my bread and butter. I normally would jog with like a pocket Wi-Fi and a GoPro, but I haven't been able to make that stream stable. At least in the US, I was doing it consistently in Japan, which is epic. So right now you're in a little gimbal thing. Might have to try this too, but need to run a few times first. I'll be out of breath. That's the hardest part. And for me to kind of discern, like, okay, when are we jogging? When are we walking and talking? What's the intent of the workout? The best thing about like running and lives is it's less stale than like a just chatting stream, which is common on like Twitch. Like there's always something for someone to come in and have intrigue. Like, who's this person? Why are they running? What time is it? Where are they? How far are they going? Like instantly there's at least like 5 questions someone has, plus whatever the hell you're talking about. Like wherever you're going with the conversation, everything is in motion with it. So even if I walk and talk, sometimes I find walk and talk gets a little bit better engagement, and I don't know why, because I feel like running should get more engagement. It's probably just because I'm huffing and people are like, oh, I don't want to watch this guy work. I just talk about the full-time journey as an entrepreneur, YouTuber, an interesting thought. For example, the other day, a video called The One Thing AI Can't Replace. Personal brand. It's funny though, because we're going to have AI influencers. Like that's totally going to be a thing. And they're going to look just like real people. They're going to respond in real time. So they could be live indefinitely and sound natural. Like it's so close. They're going to be able to put out just the sheer volume of content that AI is going to be able to put out with like not even real people is going to be wild. So it's going to be really hard to continue to persist in these spaces. But then you see like UG creators, like user generated content, like we want to buy from real people, not from ads. And I think we want to consume videos from real people, or real people with a touch of AI and fun. But like we remove green screens, that's also AI. The line is really blurry on where the essence of someone and its like genuine value ends and the tools start. Like when I go live on TikTok in Japan, the algorithm on my face changes. Like my face gets rounder and softer because it's more of like an Asian aesthetic. I don't choose that, but it's not actually how I look. So all these lines are really blurry and fun. The one thing is not personal brand. Oh, what? You'll have to watch to find out. Yes, a beautiful, beautiful blue sky. A good start to the day. I had an hour with my son this morning from 5 to 6, bouncing him over my shoulder and working on gas so that he could sleep so I could run. And then we're almost where the sidewalk ends, friend. Well, this is so cool. I appreciate everything you're pulling together. I always appreciate when I get a DM about, hey, there's a live, are you going to be there? And I'm like, no, because there's something else I'm building. But I want you to know, I see what you're doing. God sees what you're doing, dude. It's very interesting being in circles with you. And I'm definitely rooting for your success, whatever that'll look like in the days and months to come. I owe you a loom on affiliates. There's more I want to chat with you about. I just haven't gotten to it yet, so maybe that'll give me some homework. Oh yeah, you too, got a job. See you live. Encouragement of running. Need to go do that. Okay, have fun, dude. See you on the next one. Bye, y'all.